Yes, it did. Yay! Oh my gosh, it's so exciting. I feel like Instagram never works on the
Oh
first
no.
try. I always have to do everything like 3 or 4 times. So, oh my gosh. Well, I'm so excited to chat with you.
Me
Oh
too.
my goodness. So, I am not a decluttering person. I like can't right I get really like anxious about it, and the people in the community, I wanted to do like a dance challenge, and they were like, no, let's do spring cleaning, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to pull out some help on this one because it's not my jam. So thank you for helping
Oh yes,
me.
absolutely.
I'm so happy. So tell me, please, how I should go about these next 10 days of my 10-day decluttering challenge without feeling like I'm going to lose my mind.
So starting small.
Yeah.
Definitely we don't want to go and like declutter our closet. You don't want to go like try to do a whole room. Like don't get distracted and bounce all around. Just really like pick something small and basic. Maybe it's hair products. Go into your bathroom and say, not what am I going to get rid of? We get so hung up on that, and that's what makes it hard. But
Yeah.
more, what am I using? Like pull out the things you're using every day, set those in front of
Oh,
you. You know that you're keeping that. That is going back in. Then look at the other stuff and go, okay, am I holding on to this because I tried it and I feel bad I didn't like it and it's not going to get used, it's just going to go bad. Or, I feel guilty about wasting the money, or I used to wear my hair like that, but I never style it that way anymore, so I don't really need this, and kind of like remove those things there. But when we like focus on what we love and what we're actually using, it makes it so much easier
that
instead of
is
saying, what do I need to let go?
honestly what a good shift in mindset of saying like, what do I love first? Like, let's do that, and then let's analyze the why we didn't pick these things, because I feel like you're right. I always go for my closet first.
Yeah. It sounds like a
Why?
good idea. And then you're overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed, and then you have like, maybe sure your closet looks great because there's nothing left in it, but your bedroom, like a bomb went off in it because
And you
everything's
can't
now there.
sleep.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Exactly,
Yes,
right.
absolutely.
Terrible. So th- how do we avoid just pulling everything out and then having just this secondary area of clutter?
So like I said, starting with
Yeah.
those, have a space. I have little kids,
Okay.
little kids. So like
Yes, yeah, me
they
too.
are, what's this? What, like what can I have this? Can I play with that? And it gets
Yeah.
really overwhelming. So if you need to like have a basket somewhere that
Okay.
you can set these things in. And like, again, we're doing a little space, so we shouldn't have a whole closet to empty out.
True. True.
And you're just taking those few things to set to the side and then like deal with them as you're pulling them out. So instead of like setting it down and making 50 different piles around the room, maybe have your box for donations sitting right next to you. And if it's
Yeah.
going into the donations, you immediately put it in. And then you are moving that donation bin to your car if you're not good about taking it. Just get it
Right.
out into the trunk and schedule a time to take care of it. Put things that are going in the trash immediately in the trash, and just not setting things down around you, but dealing with them right then.
That's such a good idea. So having that separate space, like a little box, so that way, and even just make a teeny tiny box, so that way your brain isn't overwhelmed of trying to fill this giant Amazon box or something like that. Like, let's just fill this
Yeah.
one little piece, and when it's done, I'm done. Or what about saying, so I'm big on saying 10 minutes or even 5 minutes, whatever you can do. Is that enough time to actually make a difference?
Absolutely. If you
Okay,
stay
good.
focused, you're not going all over the room. Like I said, in one little space, 10 minutes can make a huge difference. And just get in that mindset, like set that timer. When you have that timer going, you're focused, you're not getting distracted with other things. Put your phone on the charger if you have to, put it down out of the way, and you get it done. And like, I actually did a challenge. I might have it in my highlights a few months ago where I just spent 10 minutes a day
Yes.
on the same room. And I would like focus on one little zone. Huge difference. Actually, this room that I'm sitting in, I didn't have to tidy it up at all. And it's like fairly, I mean, we have like a lot of stuff in here,
Yep.
but like there's not just stuff all over the floor where there used to be. So it made a huge difference in just like 5 days of 10 minutes. You'll notice a big difference.
And I love that you just showed us your space, because I think a lot of us, when we think about decluttering, we picture like going down to nothing. And that's great for some people, sure. But I mean, that's not necessarily a lived in home for a lot of us. So what is your like goal when you're doing it?
I just want stuff that I'm using now and I love. I used to be very in that mindset of, what if I want to do like this hobby one day? I'm very into crafting. So like
Yes,
I
me
hoarded
too.
everything, like a gum wrapper,
Yeah.
a piece of paper, whatever it was. And my husband's very ADHD. You'll see he's got like all kinds of stuff around here. This is kind of his room. So we hold on to a lot of stuff, but it's just things that you are currently using,
Yeah.
because most of the time we can replace things. You know, if we decide we want to pick up a random hobby down the line or switch to a different style of clothes, it's readily available to us. And a lot of things aren't that expensive to replace.
Right.
So it's just really focusing on who you are right now, not tomorrow,
Yeah.
but right now.
Right. That's such a good point. All right. Because especially in this phase of our lives, there's so many things that we hope we will get back to. Like I'm looking over at my craft closet too. And it's like all these things that I'm like, well, someday, like my Cricut has been right here in every
Yeah.
video that I've done for the past 6 months. And I have not used it once, but I hope to.
I actually have mine right next to me, and I was in the same boat, and I got this area cleaned up, and now I can use it. And I have all my stuff where I know where it's at.
Right. Right. Yes. But like I would assume that bigger purchases like that, we like if you do truly hope that you'll get to it, then keep it. But like that pile of stickers that you've been keeping since middle school, maybe let your kids actually play with them.
Yes, I've done that recently too, because I had like the stickers you put in the book and you don't touch, you just look at.
Yeah.
And I finally was like, here, just stick them somewhere and use them, and we'll be done with it.
Right. How did this like whole generation of people become craft supply hoarders? I have to like let go when my kids want to use an entire thing of paint.
I
Like
am the
what?
same
Of
way.
course. Of course they want to use the whole thing, and they should. That's why we have it.
Yeah. I know. I don't know if it was like something in the 80s and 90s where we're like, oh no, we're not going to be able to get any more. We didn't have Amazon. That was probably
Yes.
the problem.
That's probably part of it. Yeah, our parents are like, I'm not driving 30 minutes to get you more paint.
Yeah.
This is a bigger deal. Yeah, that's a fair point. That's a good point. So I'm picturing myself as you were talking about like the small space to even like chunk it up even more for me, like saying, while I'm brushing my teeth, get started on the medicine cabinet and just do what I can while I'm brushing my teeth and then finish up whatever I might be in the middle of it. Is
Yeah.
that a good strategy, you think, or is that like too much mixy matchy of my brain?
No. I think stuff like brushing your teeth, making your coffee, whatever, like I said, just as long as you have a plan, you're not just kind of moving things around. Identify what you use.
Yeah.
Pull out the obvious, like somebody put a almost empty toothpaste in the medicine cabinet. Throw it away. Get rid of that stuff. Throw the obvious trash and the things that you're like, oh yeah, that medicine's expired, which right now a lot of places are doing drug take back.
Oh,
So
right.
look for those in your
Stuff,
area.
Yeah.
And then put that to the side somewhere out of reach of the kids.
Yes.
And set it in your phone and take those things. Get rid of them. Car
So
seat
what
take
other?
back's also another one right now. Sorry.
No. That's
seats,
good. Yes.
Target's coming up with that. So
good. Yeah. At one point had 3 car seats in my attic.
yeah, that's where we're at right now.
I bet you are. Yes. I love the habit stacking. I love the thinking of it while you're doing your coffee. Do you have any other routines that you like to pair?
Really, I say do a morning routine because anytime I wait for anything in the evening, I'm drained. I'm tired. I'm not going to get to it. I'm going to push it off till tomorrow.
Right.
So yeah, like if you just have to get the kids up, start making your coffee, get them distracted with something, and do that 10 minutes when they're focused on whatever it is, eating, playing a game or activity, and use your 10 minutes right there. Or if you're waiting for the bus to arrive and you can go and like declutter your purse, or you're waiting in the school pickup line and you can throw a few things out of your car that you don't need, that sort of thing.
That's awesome. That's really great. I had something and it went away, but that's okay. It'll come back. It'll come back. So we were talking about habit stacking. Oh, yes, I got it. If you had to suggest a couple of places that are going to be good bang for your buck, that's going to make you feel really good, what are the spaces that aren't going to be super overwhelming, but are also going to leave us feeling like we actually accomplished something?
So, so anything you use every day.
Yeah.
If you're like a coffee drinker and you have a coffee bar area, a coffee cabinet, like go do that because you're going to see it every day. You're going to see
Yeah.
that change. You're going to benefit from it. If it's like you're tripping on things trying to get out the door,
Yeah.
because everybody just drops their stuff in the entryway, decluttering that area. Really just anything you're going to see every day. So like in bathrooms, like we
Yeah.
talked about, your medicine cabinet, if you're opening that daily, even your toothbrush drawer or wherever you keep that sort of stuff. But it's those spaces you're using all the time, not necessarily like you're decorating. Everybody wants to go through decorations or storage
Sure.
spaces. And then you feel like you never got anywhere because you only go in there so often.
Right.
And we're getting out of holiday season, so we're not going in there really at all.
Right. So do it when it makes sense, right? I guess. Yeah. So then
So
we can.
next
Yeah.
week, if you realize you didn't use half your Easter
Mm,
decorations, get rid of them. You're not going to use them next year if you didn't this year.
that's
I
such a
actually didn't put any
good
of my
point.
Easter stuff out this year, but
There are exceptions.
yeah,
I think when you are in the thick of it, yes, you can hold on
yes.
for another year
I
or two for sure.
I'm pregnant, so I'm just not doing that right
Yeah. That is fair and that makes sense. And no, you should not be throwing away every single thing that you did not use because you didn't
now. Yeah.
use any of it. Or like even right now, when I have a 2 year old and he still eats everything, there's a lot of things I don't use that I know I will in a
Yes, you'll
couple
get
of
back
years,
to
even
it.
right. So I think there are things that we can allow ourselves exceptions
Yes.
for that in these circumstantial relatively short term phases. What about shared spaces? Like I'm thinking in the kitchen and I'm thinking there's things that both of my husband want to weigh in on, but I don't have the time to talk with him right now. What is your suggestion on those things?
So I was actually just doing this the other day. I will either like set those items aside
Mm,
or like make a mental note. And I try not to like overwhelm my husband with 50 things because he
yeah.
just handled that.
No.
And I approach him in a way like he doesn't like to get rid of stuff. And I said, I'm
Mm,
totally fine keeping this, but I don't want to make space for it if you don't really use it and you
mm,
don't really have an attachment to it. And that's kind of opened up him letting go of more and also seeing me kind of let go
right.
of things helps him as well. So if you can put those away or just even like if you're in a cabinet, move them to the side
Yeah.
and have that like, hey, can you go through these couple of things when you have a chance? And it can even be like a post-it note you leave if you're kind of on opposite schedules and
Yeah.
don't really have that time to talk face to face.
That's a great idea. So you could have your donation bin, just a really small one. We're not talking
Mhm.
big anything, right? Everything's small here. A donation bin, a things that I think I want to get rid of bin or throw away or whatever, or keep all the bins. And then you could also have a husband bin,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Just like
Or just
that.
yeah, communicated spot. Like I said, this is kind of his area,
Mm,
his office where
yeah,
he's in here most of the time. We try to keep the kids out since
yeah,
they're smaller and he's got a lot of objects. But
yeah.
I can always come in here and have like a small
Mm,
space tucked in his office where I say, hey, when you have it, actually I have some cords here he needs to go through.
yeah,
But I can say, hey, when you have a second, can you just see what we need to make a home for and if there's anything that can go. I
love it.
will say another good thing is just to declutter regularly for the whole family. In your closet, have a bin, a hamper, something that if you're like trying something on and you decide not to wear it because it doesn't fit well, it doesn't make you feel good,
Yeah,
you don't like the way it looks,
yeah.
you can throw it in there. And then have like once a month where you take those out and you actually donate them. And then your
Genius.
family
Yeah,
can do it as they're doing getting dressed and stuff. They don't
yeah.
need you there for it.
Oh, it's so good to get the kids involved in it so early too, because then hopefully they won't have as much of an emotional attachment to everything
Yes.
like a lot of us end up having as they grow up. But we try not to pass the things on our quirks, but we somehow have a way. Now, let's talk about these high traffic areas that like I know for me, the first thing I always clean is my island because it's like a disaster and it's a it's an easy bang for your buck, right? I clean it in a feels great because it's done. But within a couple days at best, it is cluttered again. So what are some systems that you like to help to make that a little easier to maintain?
So I like to kind of look at what's collecting there. Is it like
Mm,
papers? Is it clothes? Is it food? And that's going to kind of tell you what you don't have a space for. So,
yeah.
like on the side of our fridge, we've got a little magnetic file just like this.
Mm,
And we have a space where I have like things that need filed. Just keep it very simple. Things that need taken care of, like a bill needs paid, off coupons, and then things that we just need to be able to reference, like maybe the library schedule. And instead of tossing our paperwork on the island,
mm,
it just goes immediately in there. It's right there. It's easy to do. You can even have a file sitting on your table if that works.
sure.
Or if it's like backpacks and stuff, your kids don't have a clear space where they know they can just stick it. And they might not
Yeah.
want to go in the closet and like hang it up and put it away. So like hooks, cubbies, baskets, those are all great things to just, this is yours. Throw your lunchbox, your backpack, your coat in here. And it's not going to look cluttered and it's going to be put away.
Oh, that's so great. That is so smart because I agree with you. It's usually starts with my bag. Like I'll get home from wherever we are and I put my like mom bag on the counter and then I forget to put it on a hook. And it just like is a welcome mat for everything else. Like once there's that one thing there, it's all just like, oh, this is the spot. Put
Yes.
everything on.
Yes. And so getting in those
Yeah.
habits of like, do not put it down,
Yeah.
put it away, make it as easy as possible on yourself. If you need to put it like right next to the door, it doesn't have to be pretty. It's going
Yeah.
to look so much better if it's just not laying everywhere.
Oh my gosh. This has been an action-packed 15 minutes. Holy cow. Very value-packed. Is there anything that you were hoping to add that we haven't gotten to in our conversation?
And maybe I know we talked a little bit about those things that like we might get to later on, but sometimes there's those things we think we're going to get to later on, but we probably won't.
Right.
If you have something that you're like, I'm totally going to use this in the future, aim to use it this week or this month. And if you don't make time for it, it's not really a priority for you. Or you might find that you don't really enjoy it as
Mm,
much as you thought you did. And it's an easy way to say, I can move on from that and let it go and not have it cluttering up my space and my mind and just move on to something else.
I love it. So I'm thinking for me having another box. I'm clearly a bin
Right.
person that has like an expiration date on it.
Yes.
Like, right? Like anything, because for me, I am super visual, I'm super literal. And if I give myself an open ended date of saying, if I don't use this within the next month, like it's my clothes. I'm guilty for that with everything. Like I tried the backwards hanger trick, where you like, if you don't wear those things and they were just backwards forever and I still couldn't get rid of them. But if I put it in a box that was like on May 15th, if I have not used this, it's gone. That
Yes.
might be a little easier.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Mm,
suggestions for that out there, and like they even say if it's
yeah.
like just an item, you're like, do I need this cord? I don't know what it goes to. Am I going to find it later? You can have a box in your garage wherever
Yeah.
that you stick this stuff, and like you said, have a date on it. It can be 6 months out. It can be a year from now if you really want it to be, but those shorter times are better. And if you have not gone to look for it in that box, don't even open that box up. Just take it over to the donation center.
That's key.
Yes.
Don't even open it. Like when I remember when I moved one of the first times I moved, I had boxes that I hadn't opened in probably a years, and I'm like, I just don't even open them. Just get rid of
Yeah,
them. I
just get
have
rid of
not
them.
missed them yet. So I
Yes.
did open them because there were like at that point that was like my first move, and there was like some teddy bears, things like that
Yeah,
that I wanted to
sentimental
keep. But
things. And that's another thing.
yeah,
Don't start with the sentimental stuff because it's just too hard. It is way
yes,
too hard.
yes, and we're at a tricky time where everything feels really sentimental. So
Yes.
give yourself lots of leeway on those. There are other high traffic areas in your home that you don't have to touch. There are so many things you don't have to touch to make an
Yes.
impact on your life. You could just touch like four spaces in your house and you would feel better
Yes.
for doing that. Right.
Absolutely.
Oh, Megan, well, thank you so much
Oh
for taking
yeah.
your time to be with me and for writing. If you're unfamiliar with us, I'm Chrissy. I have Mom Identity Project. I have the podcast Mom's Guide to Finding Herself, and I have a community, Moms More Than Mom community, where we do 10-day challenges once a month that are just simple, bite-sized ways to get back to yourself and reconnect with who you are. And this month we are doing a decluttering challenge, and Megan is the guest expert for us, where she wrote a blog post on exactly what we talked about today, how to declutter without losing your sanity. But she also wrote this really fabulous PDF resource, which is 20 really low, I don't want to say, I don't know what I'm saying here, really bite-sized pieces, right, of things that you can do, minimal effort to make a big impact. And there's 20 of them that you could pick one, and they truly are just like low stakes. They're bite-sized and itty bitty. So if you would like access to that, my community is open. We start tomorrow with the 10 days, and I would love to have any moms out there. And Megan, please pitch what you do, because you do so many good things on your account.
Yes, I'm mostly focused on decluttering. I do a little bit of cleaning here and there, but usually every Friday I try to have a few, like 3 prompts to pick from. So it's a really great way if you're just not sure where you want to start with organizing. I throw those out there and they are in my highlights, so you can always check back and see what we did this week. And it's usually just small, like bite-sized things you can do in 10, 15 minutes most of the time, and just keep making that progress that you need.
So good. Yes, your Friday prompts are the best. They truly are bite-sized, and they're all so like appropriate for what you're doing in the season. They're all really thoughtfully designed and made, and like it's kind of like a pick your poison, pick what works for you, or do a little of all of it. And you're so welcoming and like non-judgmental, and just like what's going to work for you. And I love that about your account. I always have.
Thank you.
So thanks for being such a great presence in our space, and thanks for being here with me tonight.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.